And what it do, folks? It is your boy Charles Yonga, and thank you for tuning in to Maryland Terrapins live on the Voice of College Football. First off, I want to lead you over to the Voice of College Football all across the place and in cyberspace. I stole that from my partner, Professor G, Mark with the K, Gray with the A. Go to www.vocfb.com for the best coverage in college football in the nation. You can also follow me on all social media platforms. That is at Charles Yonga, CharlesNyonga, to reach me and discuss college football with your boy. And now that we got all the formalities out of the way, let's get down to the nitty gritty. The Maryland Terrapins travel to Champaign. Hopefully, they won't be drinking that champagne on that bus, but they will be playing in Champaign to face the Illinois Fighting Illini in a Big Ten matchup. Maryland is looking to end a 5-game losing streak after opening the season 4-0. Illinois will be well rested after coming off a bye, defeating Rutgers 35-14 on November 1st, the same Rutgers team that smoked the Terps 35-20 last Saturday. So, what can we expect from this game? Um, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Maryland has struggled offensively. Their offensive struggles has led to their defense wearing down late in games. Malik Washington has one of the worst completion percentages in the Big Ten for starters. Um, and the team is towards the bottom of the conference in most statistical categories: offensive conversion rates, and offensive efficiencies. Yeah, try to say that 15 times fast. Defensive backs cannot cover elite receivers. Um, uh, Illinois quarterback Luke Altmaier is playing well under center. He's got 2,255 yards, 19 touchdowns, and only 4 interceptions. Illinois is not quite a great running team. They're only a few hundred yards more than Maryland this season. However, Maryland does lead the league in interceptions. The offensive line does not allow very many sacks, and Maryland does. But even though the offensive line does not allow sacks, they cannot get off the ball and open holes for the running backs because Maryland does not run the ball well. A couple of these points I want to talk about here. Like I said, throughout the season, Maryland's struggles were evident, specifically on third down with a 36.2 conversion rate on third down, 17th in the conference, which leads them to be 17th in time of possession. So they have the ball for short drives, short periods of time, get the ball right back to the other team, giving the other team more chances to move the ball and score. In comparison, uh, Illinois has a 87.8 conversion rate, 11th in the Big Ten in scoring the red zone. But they've done a better job in Maryland in scoring touchdowns at 27, while Maryland has only scored 10 touchdowns in their 29 red zone appearances. That is not good. That's just a little over 30% scoring touchdowns in the red zone. You're not going to win many games that way. You are not going to win many games that way. Um, if you get that's another reason that third down conversion rate has happened a lot in the red zone, where the team gets the ball, moves the ball down the field, and they only end up with a Sean O'Hare field goal and walk away with 3 points. That has happened every game this year, too frequently. I am not sure what it is about the red zone. The team seems to be able to move the ball between the 20s, but once they get inside the 20, it's like they forgot how to play football. And on that note, we're going to talk a little bit about some other things that are annoying me about this team. Is the fact that Malik does not attack the ball down the field enough. I say he has a 6.6 yards per attempt rate. His completion percentage is 58.4, which is towards the bottom of the league among starters. So if you're not stretching the field at all, the defense is going to stack the box and prevent the run. Now, One thing I can say about what Malik has been doing recently is he has been running the ball more. He had, I believe, 164 yards last week against Rutgers. He had two huge runs, 173 yarder for a touchdown, which was you could you could see he was unworldly, just running the ball all over the place. He was just like, you know what, I'm taking this game over. However, he only threw for 98 yards that game. So where is the balance? Where is he going? Where's the balance where he takes off, runs the ball a little bit more, and on the same side of that, he is able to push the ball down the field, complete passes to his receivers. His receivers not dropping the ball to the Farouk, and his not going out with silly, boneheaded, stupid penalties. By the way, this is not my normal studio. I am doing a quick show for you guys from my work, one of my jobs. I had to work this morning, and I was not sure I was going to be able to get out in time to produce a show for you guys, but I am coming to you with the real business of Maryland Terrapins Live. So when I come back, we are going to talk about some key matchups in this Saturday's game against the Fighting Illini, Maryland Terrapins Live, here on the Voice of College Football YouTube network.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
Make 2025 a winner now. However, if you do have some gambling issues and you need to seek help, do not be afraid. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. If you feel like you have developed a gambling issue, if you feel like that has become a problem, if you feel like you have nowhere to go, reach out to the resources at 1-800-GAMBLER. And moving on from that, let's get back to the discussion about Maryland football and some key matchups in this game. One of my, I guess I could say pet peeves is how the secondary, which is, I believe, number 1 or number 2 in the Big Ten in interceptions, continues to get beat over the top by the opposing receivers. Last week against Rutgers, you saw Ian Strong and DJ Huff just torched the defensive backs of Maryland. Even though Maryland did pick off Rutgers twice, they still gave up, big play after big play after big play. And the key to that is Jermaine Gasker. Jermaine Gasker has been one of the best defenders when it comes to making plays on the ball, forcing turnovers. I'm looking at about to find his stat line right here. He has, let me see, I'm trying to bring up his stat line here. Unfortunately, the Zoom is not, it's still cranky here. Okay. Gasker is, on the season, has 3 INTs. I think he has 2 pick sixes. But yet he seems to always be beaten over the top by the other team's top receiver. Jalen Husky, who is a senior leader in defense, who is pretty good he's got 48 tackles on the season. He's got 3 interceptions. He's stout in the box when it comes to run defense, but he has not been able to protect the deep ball. Dante Joyner, also another receiver, cornerback, 2 interceptions in the season, 28 tackles. But again, when they get into those situations of third and medium, third and long, somehow they let these players, the opposing receivers, somehow make a play over top. So I have a little audio here from Le'Veon Scruggs, who is the team safety, the redshirt junior out of Baltimore, Maryland. Archbishop Spalding, he's a 6'2", 250-pound, 215-pound, excuse me, safety. So he's got good size. He's probably the bigger players in the secondary. His comments about what they need to do to get better at covering the receivers.
Communication, playing as a unit, and not as just a secondary, but as a whole team. We got to get back healthy, and we all got to do our jobs and stick to the details.
You hear that? He says, "Do your job." DYJ, do your job. Now that's going to be interesting because, like I said, the another reason why the defense appears to be getting lit up in the secondary is because the front seven has not been healthy. Zahir Mathis, the 6'6", 240-pound freshman from Philly, he is played 8 games. He's got 6 tackles for loss, 5 sacks. But somehow he's just been like in and out of the lineup. You know, he misses some game. He missed a game. I believe it was against homecoming game against Indiana. He's left the field early several times. You have we're missing Sidney Stewart, the Sam linebacker, 6'2" freshman out of Joppa. He has been one of our best pass rushers on the season with 6 sacks. He also, 23 tackles on the season, 6 sacks, monster pass rusher. But it seems like when the team needs them to make a play or, a third and long, a third short, whatever makes a play, something always comes up. These guys have a boneheaded penalty where they lose sight of the ball and they somehow just find a way to give up long yards, big plays, big gashes on defense. So that being said, I do believe that Maryland can somehow, some way, find a way to make some pressure on the quarterback. For Illinois. Why's my name? His name escaped me all of a sudden. She was Luke Altmaier. Jesus, why did I have a brain fart right there? Luke Altmaier, who's been balling out well. So let's hear a little bit from Coach Locksley what he has to say about his upcoming matchup.
Building and the attitude, the way they've approached it, and I really can tell you that this team is trending in the right direction. I'll continue to pour into this team and its development as we do each and every week. Illinois obviously will be a tough task on the road, but one that I know that our team is excited about the opportunity. And again, being able to put the last 4 or 5 weeks behind us and get back on the right side of the ledger. By Saturday, our guys are going to be prepared physically, mentally, emotionally to go play well. Game captains leading into the game are Dante Joyner, Jalil Farouk, and Eli Mason. And with that, I'll open it up to questions.
All right, he opened up the questions, and we won't go into the whole press conference, but there's a few things that Coach Locksley did talk about. He talked about his job security. He talked about, some other things. So when we come back, we're going to get more into some thoughts about Mike Locksley and his job security with the Maryland Terrapins. Right here on Maryland Terrapins Live at the Voice of College Football.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the voice of college football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
Make 2025 a winner now. Here on the Voice of College Football. Like I say, if you do find yourself in issues with gambling, do not hesitate. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. They do have the tools and the talent to help you fight your gambling issues. Now, we want to talk a little bit about Mike Locksley's job security. What can I say about Mike Locksley that hasn't already been said? There's been rumblings online, on social media, even in the crowds about he might have to go. I've been thinking about this myself. I was like, I like Coach Locksley. I think he's a great guy. I think he's done fantastic job at the University of Maryland after what happened a few years back. We won't go too far into that, but it might be time to say, is it time to move on from Coach Locksley? He has been, like I said, he has been one of the best additions to this team, to this franchise over the past 7 years. But it might be time to move on from this coaching staff. I mean, is it Michael himself? Is it the players he's bringing in? Is it him? Is it the staff? Is his coach underneath him? What is it about this staff is saying it's not putting two together? Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. So I want to go to Mike Locksley here a little bit. He's going to talk a little bit about what's going on with his job here.
And that he's become, that's what it's about for me. That's what the good work is, and that's why these kids show up to play.
Are there any other special stories in this senior group for you? I know you mentioned Shalik, Octavian, obviously Isaiah.
Sorry, I think I missed it.
So those are the type of stories. I think most of the seniors are some guys that have.
I think I had the wrong time cue here.
That's good work when you know Octavian Smith.
Are there any other special stories in this senior group for you? I know you mentioned.
Well, I'm gonna come back to that later because I thought I had it lined up, but apparently I mistimed the quote he had here about him. But so I'm going to come back to that later. But I don't know. Mike Locksley seems to be playing for his job. I think what I have here is Malik Washington talking about what Mike Locksley means to him.
We're playing for everybody in the building. Really, nobody likes to feel this type of way. After losing 5 straight, you're playing for the senior guys that this is their last chance, their last opportunity. Some of them playing football in total, and some in a Maryland uniform. So I think each week we've always been playing for each other.
Mike said earlier that he doesn't want you guys to kind of.
Yeah, he said they're playing for everybody. They're playing for each other. Mike Locksley is very instrumental in bringing Malik to the University of Maryland. And what was that? Firing Mike Locksley, what does that mean for this team for the current recruits he brought in and the next recruits that's coming in the next 2 years? Will that deter a lot of these guys coming to the University of Maryland? Will that deter anybody from, like I said, it's just one of those things like, will that deter a lot of these signatures, and what would Malik Washington leave if Mike Lassie leaves? So those questions and more we have to answer down the line. But when I come back, I'm gonna give my final thoughts and predictions for this game.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the voice of college football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the voice of college football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select a betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
Make 2025 a winner now. And if you do have a gambling problem, do please dial 1-800-GAMBLER to help you with those gambling problems. Like I said, they have the tools, they have the talent to help. We're here with the final segment on Maryland Terrapins Live at the Voice of College Football. I am your host, Charles Younger, and I'm getting a little comfortable here. About to lean back in my chair as I break to you my thoughts, final thoughts and predictions of this game. Maryland's not good. Illinois is good. But however, Maryland has been playing uninspired football. I believe that this team, if you look at their front seven with Mathis, Cam Rice, and Evan Thomas, and you also have Dylan Fontes as well in that rotation. The linebackers, you have Trey Reddick, Wingate, Stewart. Wingate is a Butkus Award nominee or finalist. Excuse me. The key thing is the secondary. The secondary has the ability to check down any of the Illinois receivers. Neither of the receivers in Illinois are exceptionally large athletes. They are probably around your 5'10", 5'11", 6-foot size receivers, not particularly big, not overly, what you would call burners down the field, but they are consistent. They make good plays. They have good hands. They run great routes, and they are in sync with Altmaier. So I think the defense, if the offense can find ways to put points on the board when they get in the red zone, like they have not been able to do all season, if Malik Washington can reconnect with Caleb Webb and Shalik Knox downfield, if Jaleel Farouk can, and Dorian Fleming can roam across the middle, get those check down routes, those short routes, those in routes, if Octavian Smith can be that slot receiver, who can do those ins and outs and just be that gadget receiver who can do anything on the field. If Jamal Williams and Nolan Ray to find a way, that offensive line has to find a way to open up holes for these running backs. And like I said, and the defensive line has to be able to find a way to get pressure on Altmaier because that offensive line for Illinois, there are some big boys. There are some big boys. Those Midwestern boys, when it comes to like offensive line. Check this out. J.C. Davis, Outland Trophy watch list. Outland Trophy is the award for the best, one of the best offensive linemen in college football. 6'5", 335. He's the number 2 graded left tackle in the nation, according to Pro Football Focus. Only behind Indiana's Carter Smith. 2024 All Big Ten 13. You have Josh Geske, 6'5", 335. He's a Campbell Trophy semifinalist. Josh Kurtz, Brandon Anderson, and their smallest offensive lineman is Melvin Priestley at 6'4", 305. I'm sorry, Josh Kurtz, the center, is 6'2", 290. Excuse me. He's the smallest, but he's the captain, and he's centers usually are not as big as the other linemen, but this team has 259 games played together as a unit. So there is some cohesion, there is some uh, unity, there is experience, and these guys are going to have to open holes. Are going to open holes with their running game. However, the front seven of Mathis, Stewart, Fontes, Rice, all these guys have to find ways to get off their blocks, push, fill the gaps for the running game, put pressure on Altmaier in the passing game, and somehow get him down to the ground. And maybe force him to mistakes, because our DBs do know how to pick the ball off and do know how to take it to the house. So at the end of the day, my final thoughts are Maryland ends the losing streak. They go in to Champaign, Illinois. They defeat the Fighting Illini. They cover the spread, which is 14.5, and they win 31-28 on a Sean O'Hare game-winning field goal as time expires. And for that is my final thoughts and predictions for this week's episode of Maryland Live. Maryland Terrapins Live at the Voice of College Football. I am your host, Charles Younger. That is CharlesNyonga across all social media platforms. Please go to the Voice of College Football's website, vocfb.com, for some of the best coverage in college football. Follow me on social media. Follow my articles. I'll have my game prediction articles posted soon as well. I will be doing my game recap. And if I have some time, I might do a game watch along, because they do play tomorrow, Saturday, which is my birthday. Happy birthday to me. And with that, I say, I bid you all adieu. Thank you for watching Maryland Terrapins Live on the Voice of College Football. I have been your host, Charles Younger. Take it easy and stay greasy.